Welcome one, welcome all. Probably nobody on the actual live stream yet, but just saying hello to those of you that watch again later on. Kicking off with some Logistics. This one's called Maybe Next Time. Old Logistics tune. Logistics, one of my favourite producers and favourite peeps too. Hope you enjoyed today's show, and I'll see more of you soon. Good afternoon, Jason, early joiner. Yeah, well, welcome one, welcome all to another Spearhead podcast on a Saturday afternoon, live and unplanned. I say unplanned, I've got a few bits that I've deliberately picked out, obviously for today, to put in the bag. I've got some classic old stuff I've dug out, and some brand new stuff as well. And I've asked a couple of people if I can play some bits that I wasn't sure if I was allowed to play or not, and had the thumbs up, so that's all good. I'm getting serious lockdown wig going on now, as you can probably see. I can no longer brush it to the side without looking like a nutcase. Anyway, like I said, this one is Logistics Maybe Next Time. I'm going to roll them out, roll through a couple for a minute. I'm going to play you one of my favourite random movement tracks next, one called Can't Resist with Spy on the remix, which is out on Innerground. Obviously, I'll answer as many questions as I can, do some shouts, and yeah, those of you that have been tuning in are probably used to the format by now, which I quite like. Wicked. All right then, let's do this. Oh, by the way, I found my daughter's been in the office and adjusted all my controls. I thought I'd set up the mic nicely. I think I've actually got it better than it was. If you can't hear me or whatever, just comment and I'll try and sort it out. Big up.
you back.
I can't get used to this long wig. It's putting me off. So big up Sam McLeod, tuned in. Sam, I'm going to play a track of yours next. The little dub that we've got sitting here. That is killing it. AJ, big up the Trapeze vibes. We don't know quite what they are, we discovered, but I like it. And yeah, I'm feeling the Trapeze vibes strong today, bruv. Feeling them strong. Sam McLeod says, what happened to the pink beard? So he obviously saw my Instagram this week. In fact, I'll find the evidence of what he's talking about. Okay, so this week, this happened. This is what happens when you're in lockdown. It happened because I just went into the bathroom and I saw that one of my daughters had left a can of pink hairspray on the floor, and I just thought it'd be funny to come out of the room with a pink beard. So that was that. Anyway, I tried to wash it out, and I thought I had washed it out. I did it like last thing at night. I had a bath, like put loads of shampoo in my beard, all that. And the next morning I took a load of the Spearhead orders to the post office, the local post office, and I came back and Isla, my 7-year-old, said to me, Daddy, your face is still really pink. And I looked in the mirror and my beard was all right, but everything around here, it looked like I'd been in a zombie film, like for being just ripping someone's guts out with my face or something. And I did think the post office were giving me a few strange looks when I was there. So yeah, if you're going to do that, make sure you wash it out. That's my advice.
What's holding you back?
Speaking of crazy hair, actually, I have ordered some new Spearhead caps. So we can cover it up with that soon. See a few people asking who the lady is in the background. You're obviously new to the podcast. The lady in the background is called Sally. She is the Spearhead model, because I couldn't find any women that would model Spearhead clothes. So I picked up Sally, and we've been together ever since. She used to live in the hallway of my old house. Eventually my wife has kicked her out to the office, and every time someone comes through that door visiting, it scares the out of them, which is always good. Big up Natasha Sweet Pea tuned in. Big up Anne, my cousin, tuned in. Wicked. AJ, Laura, Air Shots. Flipping heck, too many people to list. Dave Dexel, jealous of the beard. Mate, I wish the beard wasn't quite so grey. But other than that, we are all good. So anyway, we're going to go from something. I've got a funny story to tell you about a gig offer that came in this week, but I'll save that till later. So we're going from something old, the Spy remix of Can't Resist by Random Movement, to something brand new, the one planned at the moment that I'm deliberately talking all over, but I'll let you get a bit of it. It's Waterside Dub by McLeod, and it will be out at some point in the future. This is a dark and dirty one. We'll just give you a little taste of that one. Waterside Dub by McLeod. Will be out one day, but not just yet. I love it. Airshot's asking how are the radishes. If you saw my Instagram this week, see that we've been, I can show you on my phone actually, the beauty of technology. We have started growing our own produce as part of this here, lockdown. When it got to the point we were struggling to get toilet rolls, I thought we'd better start growing some produce. Can't actually find the picture of what we planted, but if you check my Instagram, you can see the full stories of all this stuff. But there is my daughter with the very first radish from the garden. So we won't starve, we can just eat radishes. And it was good, yeah, it was good. I wolfed it down whilst on FaceTime to Tempsa. What a tune. Calorona remix. Calix and TB strung out.
So now I've got to sing this song.
I have started growing toilet rolls, but it's going to be a while before they're ready, unfortunately. Ready for the next pandemic in like 2050. Big up Eric Morgan. I remember about 25 years ago doing a podcast like this for you in my mum and dad's living room. And I'm still doing the same thing, but more people will come and watch now. Hope you're well, mate.
Reasons, alibis.
Also, I see Temps's favourite man singer, Grim, is tuned in. Big up, Grim. Hope you're well, boss.
Time running out. Promises I could do without. Excuses and white lies. Oh, no surprise.
Loads of questions early on today, and I love it. I'm quite happy to talk for the whole thing. In fact, I spoke to Chris Blue Martin, who's also my agent, the other day, and he was like, just stop the music and talk. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that. Where can you get hats from? They'll probably take about a month before they're here, and then I will tell you. That simple. Can I play In the Moment? 100% definitely. We'll be playing that in a little while. Next up, I've got something for you that's going to, I might have said the other week, I've done an EP for Focus Records. There's someone that released some of my early stuff. I really like Marco, who runs Focus. I've done a whole EP for him. I can't remember what I've actually called the next track because it's just called Sketch 1. I'm going to play it for you anyway, and it's out soon, and I'll tell you when it's out. Yeah, and hopefully, AJ, I actually, we said we'd play in Sheringham Little Theatre, do a Spearhead night there. It may be the only venue small enough to actually allow us to do a night. So I think that is actually, we may have been predicting the future there, bruv. Oh, hello. So it's not AJ Hill using the old computer. It's his wife, who happens to be Laura Rea, who happens to have had a track out yesterday on Spearhead Records with Faction called The Fall. I've been playing it for the last few weeks, and I'll definitely play it today. If you look in the link for this at the top of the description, you'll see that I've put the playlist link in there for Spotify. Please do go and follow that. I'll put all the tracks that I play today, look, the released ones in that, so you can check them out later on, and link and clock up some plays for the people who support their tunes, basically. I've not put a discount code today because I've run out of packaging. I've got some more coming. So if you've ordered stuff and haven't got it yet, if it's a big order, I'm waiting for the packaging. Most stuff has gone. The dub plates I'm expecting in a week or two. They've been a little bit delayed because of the pesky COVID, like a lot of things. Big up Marcel Hardy. Had an evening in Berlin with a gig for me once at Cassiopeia. I remember it well because Stefano from Sun and Bass actually lives like a 10-minute walk from there. He's not there at the moment, but he did. And I had a curry with him and Utah Jazz before the gig. It was great. Yes, Hans Kendall tuned in, my brother from another mother. I hope you're well, mate. I'm missing you as soon as this lockdown's over. Gonna get together and have a jig. Okay, what's the end of this tune is playing? Let me tell you what happened this week. So I was speaking to young Tempser this week, who said he was feeling a little bit low this week. You know, I think there's a lot of people been struggling this week, particularly like after we realise, I think it's the reality that the lockdown is, you know, stuff isn't quite going away just yet, and it might be a little while. So Tempser was feeling a little bit down, and I was on the computer late one night, and I thought, got an idea. So anyway, next morning, me and Tempser get put into a group WhatsApp with our agent Chris. And it says that an offer has come in, a crazy offer that he can't recommend we take. But we've been offered $5,000 to play an anti-COVID demonstration in London. This is obviously, the event is an illegal event, and therefore the risk would be on us. But, you know, it's $5,000. And so we jumped on a three-way video chat to discuss like whether we should do this illegal COVID-19 rave. To be honest, I thought for $5,000 I'd probably do it nude, let alone PPE. I mean, nobody was actually asking for that or wants it. And then I did have to reveal that it was me the night before that had made the inquiry, and the whole thing was bollocks. But it did cheer Tempser up no end, who couldn't stop laughing, and it did what it was intended. So I'm very sorry, Chris. I hope Chris, Mr. Blue Martin, did take it very well. I think it cheered him up too, instead of sending the monotonous cancellation emails that he's had to be dealing with. I hope so anyway. Right, this one playing now is Abandoned Window, John Hopkins, one of my favourite tracks at the moment, Polar and Bryson on the bootleg. The one before was an untitled track of mine that's coming out on Focus quite soon. Let's let this one roll. thought I was going to play you a remix by LSB next of a track called I'll Be There For You. But I've accidentally somehow copied something onto my stick that isn't the LSB remix that I thought I was going to play you. But is in fact something that, I mean, I'm at the risk of offending whoever sent this to me. This is something that I put in a folder because it was one of the funniest demos I've ever been sent. And I've just accidentally rediscovered that I put it on thinking it was something else. I'm going to mix it into this track and you'll see, I think you'll see why I kept it as a reminder of what demos should be like, at least if you want a little smile. In the meantime, I'm going to try and find the track that I thought it was. Now, if you are just tuning in, don't panic. This is not a serious track. This is definitely up there with the funniest things I've been sent as a demo. And I think you probably know what it's a remix of. Okay, that I can't do any more of that. That is what I played and put on there by mistake. This is what I meant to play. And so I'll play this now. This is something that I got sent last night. It's I'll Be There by Culture Shock. LSB remix. Same name, very different tunes. going to talk over it a little bit because don't know the release plans for this, but it is super fresh. Big up Luke. I said could I play it? He said different words, but yes. So this is coming out on RAM. I think he made it as something to play in his sets. Obviously he can't really play anywhere much at the moment. So Culture Shock, I'll Be There For You LSB remix will be out in about a month's time on RAM, I think. Well, if you don't know this one, you better get to know. This one is Faction and Rhea. It's called The Fall, and it is out now on Spearhead Records. It's already in my playlist. If you go and check that out after this, I'll probably bump it to the top. This is the first track from Faction's EP called Chemistry. The whole EP will be out in June. Also features another track with Rhea and Hugh Hardy called Session. Charlie Bricks is on there, a remix of Technimatic. I've played all of these if you look back through the archives. And this one's out now. You can get it from spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com or Spotify, iTunes. It's everywhere. Please go and stream it, add it to your playlists, and clock up those numbers. Wicked, innit? I think this Faction EP is the thing I've liked the most for a while that's been on the label. But I have to say, this lockdown period has, people are producing some good stuff right now. And I really genuinely think the next year for Spearhead, in terms of actual musical output and the stuff I'm being sent from my artists at the moment, is off the chart. Big up you lot.
inside my own mind. Could not hear or see anything. So confused that I had nothing to lose. Not realizing what I'm missing. I never knew what was out there. I gave up on everything.
This one's taken from Spearhead Presents 2020 album. And it's also on an EP as well called Chop Shop. This is Low R. His Chop Shop EP was on the sister label Spearhead Future Retro. Wicked EP, go check that out. Chop Shop by Low R. And this one, Locked Away, I also, because I thought it was wicked, put it on the Spearhead Presents compilation as well. Somebody's just said, how can they send demos? Do you know what? Demos, I have such a funny relationship with demos. At the moment in this lockdown, so many people are sending me demos. I was running a Patreon. You may notice it's disappeared. I was going to message everybody on my Patreon page to explain the situation and why I decided to close the Patreon page. But I clicked close it first, thinking I could then send the messages, and then it wouldn't let me send any messages. So apologies if you were supporting that and it just disappeared. That's why I wanted to bring it up today. I've just been getting so many demos, so much stuff for feedback that it's ended up like, even if I spent every spare minute I've got in the week listening and feeding back on demos, I can't keep up with it. I'm also working with the actual Spearhead artists that I want to work with on stuff to try and A&R, and that's taking all my time, and I want to write new music myself. So saying that, this track, Low R, was sent in as a demo, and I hardly ever do this, but it was one of the demos that I just had a Sunday afternoon listening through some stuff, and it really stood out to me as fresh, and I signed this and his whole EP off the back of that. So it does happen, but I always say the best way to give me a demo, when people ask me the best way to give me a demo, I always say it's in person, and I know we can't do that at the moment, we're in lockdown, but I'm not really that interested with working with people that I don't know or I've never met. I like, Spearhead Records is basically only me. It means anybody, if I'm releasing a vinyl, I've got to put a couple of £1,000 of my money up as kind of capital to make that release happen. I don't want to just release random people's music. So yeah, it's hard to get me to sign something for Spearhead is hard. And the reason I've kind of stopped the Patreon and stopped feeding back is because I find it really soul destroying. A lot of people send me tunes and they're good tunes. I just don't like them, and I don't want to keep going back to people going, I don't like this isn't any good, do this, because it doesn't mean your tune isn't good. It's all about opinion, and I'm fed up with just like rejecting people. It's soul destroying. So saying that, you can send a demo to me, just send it on Facebook, send a link on Facebook. I will listen to it, I will check it out, and if it absolutely blows me away, I will be in touch. Please don't be offended when I don't give you feedback or don't reply to your message, because I am getting at least 100 a week, and I've got, because we're homeschooling our girls at the moment like everybody else, I've probably got about 2 hours a day to spend on stuff. So I ain't going to be listening to your demos. I want to write my own stuff. Yeah, that's not probably the message you wanted to hear, but that's where I'm at with demos. Anyway, let's let the rest of this one roll out. Low R, Locked Away. Okay, let's play something brand new. So while I've said what I've said about demos, you can still send them to me. Just drop them into my Facebook inbox, and I'll check out what I can. I can usually tell in about 10 seconds if I'm going to like something. This track I'm playing now is from a brand new artist that you're going to see on Spearhead very soon. So I do still release new artists. I've hooked him up with DRS. I know he's nervous about me playing this track.
She's always true and never lies.
I'm going to rewind it actually. I'm going to talk over the middle of it. But I'm going to let you hear the intro. This is called Move Steady featuring DRS. And we're interested in your thoughts on this one because I know he's very nervous about me playing it. See what you think to this. Yeah, not going to tell you his name yet either. Just let the music do the talking.
Too heavy, move steady. While I'm learning to fall, I moved heaven forever. While we're yearning to soar, we keep searching and learning. While we race against the sun, I moved heaven forever. While we're yearning to soar. I moved my heaven to the safest place you'll never find. Secretly jealous, she was never mine, never mine. Maybe she's always true and never lies. Yeah, maybe she's always true and never lies. Yeah, I moved my heaven to the safest place you'll never find. Secretly jealous, she was never mine, never mine. Maybe she's always true and never lies. Yeah, maybe she's always true and never lies. Too heavy, move steady. While I'm learning to fall, I moved heaven forever. While we're yearning to soar, we keep searching and learning. While we race against the sun, I moved heaven forever. While we're yearning to soar. While I feel myself become the things that you despise. Like a nightmare reoccurring but with open eyes. I know everything you're planning but I act surprised. We're too busy shouting when it's action time. While I feel myself become the things that you despise. Like a nightmare reoccurring but with open eyes. I know everything you're planning but I act surprised. We're too busy shouting when it's action time.
So if your demos sound like that, please make sure you do send them. I'm going to play another one of this guy's tracks in a few minutes. I think you'll agree they're stunning. I'm not going to reveal any more just yet because we'll be bringing them out fairly soon. Pretty sick though, isn't it? So Anna Weston, big up Anna, hope you're well. She says nice jumper. I've been actually a bit conscious on these podcasts of not wearing the same clothes because at home I am pretty much just wearing the same jogging bottoms and everything till my wife says they smell and then changing. But I wanted to represent Urban Creative. I think these might be out of stock at the moment. This is Tempter's clothing label and it's flipping sick. Check out his YouTube channel as well. There's a thing on there with me and Charlotte. Well, Charlotte really, but a tune of mine. As Kairos has just done the new Urban Creative video, and you can find that just by searching Urban Creative on YouTube. And he's restocking all the clothes as well. So represent. I flipping love these, really quality stuff. Hence today, repping Urban Creative. Yeah, you can't go wrong with DRS. You're right. Okay, I'm going to play you next a classic bit of Everwood with a vocalist that I've featured on a few of my tracks as well. You'll know it.
Too heavy, move steady. While I'm learning to fall, I moved heaven forever. While we're yearning to soar, we keep searching and learning. While we race against the sun, I moved heaven forever. While we're yearning to soar.
No, I ain't gonna let you go. I hold on to you. let me hold on to you. No, I ain't gonna let you go. I hold on to you. As long as you let me, I hold on to you. No, I ain't gonna let you go. I hold on to you. As long as you let me, I hold on to you. No, I ain't gonna let you go.
Yeah, Spoken, Rocky NT, and Everwood. Well, I think it was his first hospital release out before that even. Big up Mr. Lanchester. Forgot what I was going to say. All good. Oh, that was it. I just saw the comments again. Who's going to get sweatshirts back in first, me or Urban Creative? It's going to be Urban Creative because I haven't ordered any. However, there are new designs underway, but I'll be getting t-shirts for the summer before I get sweatshirts. And it's all a bit quiet on that front at the moment. Go just buy some Urban Creative ones. There's still a few Spearhead things in stock too. Until then, enjoy this. I'm going to play you an absolutely classic Hybrid Minds bootleg next. I haven't played it for ages. If you don't know this one, I don't know where you've been. I'm going to go and get a drink and let you have a listen.
Shadows settle on the place that you left. Our minds are troubled by the emptiness. Destroy the middle, it's a waste of time. From the perfect start to the finish line. If you're still breathing, you're the lucky one. 'Cause most of us are heaving through corrupted lungs, setting fire to our insides for fun, collecting names of the lovers that went wrong. Lovers that went wrong.
So in case you don't know about that one, it's Youth by Daughter, and it's Hybrid Minds bootleg mix, which they used to play all the time. They probably still do, and I think it was that bootleg probably that really grabbed people's attention about how sick Hybrid Minds are. From that to this, All There Is, featuring Leanne Carroll by High Contrast, but I love the vocal, so we'll just do that. Big up Leanne Carroll on this one.
Is this really all there is? Then nothing really matters. Said what you do to me, let's leave this world in tatters. Is this really all there is? Then nothing really matters. Said what you do to me, let's leave this world in tatters.
This podcast is only on Facebook Live. I thought about doing it elsewhere, but you know what? I like doing it on Facebook. I think I've sorted out the teething problems, and I am recording it today though, so I probably will upload this to the Spearhead YouTube channel, which is /Spearhead Records Ltd. I think I'll put it on YouTube for the archive anyway. Ellen Lewin, big up yourself. Ellen works at Clinic Talent, my agent as well, Santa's agent in this case. Ellen, you can answer on here if you're still listening. Did you tune in earlier, or have you heard about the booking that came in for me and Tempsa for the COVID-19 rave this week? Or did Christopher not tell you about that? That was All There Is, featuring Leanne Carroll by High Contrast, and it's from his Agony and Ecstasy album. Flipping brilliant. I absolutely love that track, but I'm going to fade it down and I'm going to play you one other track from the new project on Spearhead. Same producer that brought you the one with DRS. This track features Paper Dragon. It's called State of Flow, and it will be out in the near future, just kind of finishing some bits up. See what you think to this one. Oh, I flipping love it. Ruth Royal on the vocals for Paper Dragon, who I've done a recent single with as well. Let's pick up Ruth Royal.
Find our state of flow. Find our state of flow. Whispers I heard you speak gently to me as I fall into you. Slowly we take this step.
Yes, big up Jan. Now Jan, I know that it's you that's requested a couple of times over the last few weeks some Cubics and Lomax classic tracks. And I have some news actually. Absolute fresh news. And that is this. This man here sent me this video earlier on. Now you may not know this man here. He may be unfamiliar to you. But this is an artist called Cubics. And I started a record label with him way back when called Rubik Records. And he left me this 5-minute long message earlier on to say he wants back in the drum and bass. Cubics could be back very, very soon. Obviously I said no, joking. So, there may be some Cubics and BCee tracks. We haven't made any for about 10 years. We made one actually for the 10 years of Spearhead album. There could be a return of Cubics and BCee in the pipeline. Let's have a look. But I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest. This is one from the archives. This is Jack Wobb. I forgot what it was called. This is Jack Wobb and Blinding, featuring Rocky NT on the vocals. And this is the BCee remix. Hybrid Minds did a remix as well. This is my one. And I flipping love this track. It was this track actually, I remixed this, and this is what led to me working with Rocky on Lost and Found and a couple of other tracks.
This is the life that you prayed for, but now all the lights are blinding you. These are the moments people live for, but your heart is hard to what's surrounding you.
Anyone that's into sampling, and I know there's a few producers on here that are, you'll hear a noise in this that goes that one. Probably shouldn't tell you this. I just like the sound of it. It was a sample I made. It's actually Lenny Kravitz speaking and reversed. Just sounded cool, huh? What time is it in Australia now? I see all the Aussies are on. Breakfast or late at night? Yes, big up the Australian Midnight crew then. I guess it depends where you live.
It's hard to what's surrounding you.
Oh yeah, for you guys it's 11:30 because Adelaide is one of these weird places where it just has half an hour difference. Which, no disrespect to you guys that live there, what's the point in half an hour difference? Or maybe we're all wrong. Mr. Cubics has already texted me asking for samples and getting on it, so big up Doug. Let's make this happen.
Skies. Although my mind is here, my heart just wants to fly.
I actually genuinely forgot to start another track. Never mind. Okay, we'll just have a chat for a little while. No, we won't. Right, a few people have requested this, and I absolutely love how much you like it. Big up Renee Levice for supporting this for the last couple of weeks. Big up everybody else that's been supporting this track. It's called In the Moment. It's by me, Charlotte Haining, and Tempsa. And it will be out on the 29th of Feb as the first single from our as yet untitled album. We have got 7.5 tracks done. We've got 2 tracks nearly done, and one that's a collab with someone else, so waiting on them a little bit. And we've got 2 tracks that we've done in the past being remixed. I would tell you, but the remixes are of First Love and Grow, but you'll have to wait to see who's doing them.
You should know now. Don't worry, worry, worry. Look at the birds and you look how they fly. Look how they soar straight up to the sky. Never a thought even enters their mind. But one day they might fall. You don't know what's given in life. Get what you need when the moment is right. You know in time the stars will align and everything is clear. So breathe.
Yes, big up Chris Lewis. Mate, you can't come around with the clippers because I am not going to shave or cut my hair until I next DJ in a club. I might regret that, but I'm going to try anyway.
Don't worry, worry, worry. You can now go.
Yeah, I didn't mean the 29th of February. I meant the 29th of May. Coming out on the 29th of May. That's how long we've been in lockdown.
Look at the birds and you look how they fly. Look how they soar straight up to the sky. Never a thought even enters their mind. But one day they might fall. You don't know what's given in life. Get what you need when the moment is right.
heart. The catalyst for setting different paths. Dealing only goodness, don't do this life in halves. Rare connections made like seeing shooting stars. It's the little things that really make us free. Worry not about the stuff you can't control. How can you if you don't know where the story goes? You can spend your life searching answers that aren't there. Just breathe, stop running scared. Just breathe. Tomorrow will be there. Tomorrow will be there.
Love it. The Friends theme tune has been done, I'm afraid, Jason. But I've also had an A-Team demo. I've had an A-Team remix demo before. So perhaps pick a different show of equal comedy measure. Right, well, anyway, just answering an inquiry there. So In the Moment was written by me, Tempster and Charlotte. And all the tracks that we're doing for this album we're doing, me and Charlotte's album, excuse me, we're really trying to work on the vocals together, and we're as yet undecided about what the title's going to be. But most of the time, if you haven't checked it out yet, I keep talking about it, but go to the Urban Creative YouTube channel and check out the writing process where I send Charlotte some ideas and she turns them into words. I'm going to have to get another drink of water in a minute. Anyway, what we're trying to do with this is take my stories, things from my life, things from Charlotte's life, real flipping crap things that you have in life to try and deal with, and trying to make them into songs. And that's kind of how we've always worked. I send her a story and some lyric ideas, and Charlotte's just absolutely bang on at taking the very specific ideas and rewriting them so that they could be applicable to more people. Why am I telling you this now? One, because I want you to get what the album's about, and two, I'm going to play you a track called Remind Me, which you may know. It's me and Charlotte Haynen on the vocals. She's uncredited because she had management at the time who said, don't get credited on drum and bass. They're no longer in place. Leave that there. Remind Me sounds like it's about relationships, sounds like it's about loads and loads of lovely stuff. Let me put you a new perspective on it. Remind Me was written after I spent a week looking after a friend of mine with Parkinson's and dementia, and about the idea of kind of like as you get older you kind of start forgetting stuff that's nearby, and you kind of start only remembering the past, and it's a real strain on the relationship, and it's kind of like, can you remember who I am anymore? And you know, we unfortunately, most of us probably know somebody who's had dementia and how difficult that journey is. So rather than being just about love, Charlotte's grabbed this track, I think, and really made it applicable. So it can be about love, it can be a bit woolly and about whatever you want. But Remind Me is actually a drum and bass tune about dementia. With that in mind, have a listen and see if it changes your perspective on it.
don't know where to turn, but I gotta learn how we can resume. 'Cause I'm yearning for how we were before. Can you remind me somehow? I forgot what it's all about, what we had and now. I need reminding the memories of us are all I got. Somehow I forgot. So can you remind me? Can you remind me? Can you remind me? So can you remind me? Can you remind me? Can you remind me?
I don't know if that put a new perspective on the track for you or not, but I hope it gave you a little insight. We want to write some proper songs, but both love D&B. So there you go. The drum and bass song about dementia. And there's plenty more of those kind of deep topics panned out on our forthcoming album. I'm going to play you one more track from me and Charlotte as a little bit of a palate cleanser. And then I think I might actually have a little mix for a bit. And still talk to you loads. Right, this track, again, lyrics by Charlotte. It's something that my father-in-law always said to me. We wanted to do something that was a little bit more happy. This track comes from my father-in-law saying that the key to life is to find what you love doing and manage to just convince somebody to pay you to do what you love doing. For me, I feel really, really privileged that I've got to do that. I have worked in jobs where I've mucked out duck sheds. I actually still know what the taste of duck poo tastes like because it's been in my face so many times. And don't get me wrong, I actually loved that job. I loved working with Monty, who I used to work with there. Absolutely flipping loved it. That's not complaining in the slightest. But I found what I love doing and I've managed to get someone to pay me for it and I flipping love it. And I forget how lucky I am sometimes. So with that in mind, this track is called First Love, and it was basically written by out of my father-in-law's philosophy of find what you love, do what you love. Check it. It's a garage tune from Shouting About Nothing by me, BCee, which you can stream now. And then we'll go back to some D&B. And this is getting a drum and bass remix for the album, but you'll have to wait and see who by. Big up edit. This absolutely 100% was an MJ Cole tribute. I actually met him at Outlook and sent it to him as well, and I never heard back. But absolute MJ Cole tribute. basically threw every single thing I knew about garage into the one track. So it's got every single garage cliche I could think of in it, as my little MJ Cole tribute, and lyrics inspired by my father-in-law, and Haining on the vocals. Yeah, MJ Cole Sincere, absolutely defining music track for me. And yeah, it's the only moment I think where I've really like met another DJ at Outlook a couple of years back, where got in the shuttle bus to be taken to the festival from the airport, and in popped MJ Cole, and I nearly flipping wet my pants. Never normally feel like that, but he's such a freaking legend. Roll it out now. Right, we're going to up this back to some drum and bass. Going to play you a track from Deg's album featuring one of my absolute favourite modern kind of now time producers, if that makes any sense. Unglued. If you don't know this, where have you been? And like I said, I'll put all of these in the playlist after this. Check this beast out. Levitate your mind. Unglued and Degs. Bad boy track. This and Mike Strangler with GQ. Wowzers for MC tracks. Amazing. I might play that in a minute as well. Here we go then. Let's roll some out.
As I stand here, I feel purpose. No longer caught between the lines. Find smiles in this resurgence. Like my days will be defined. There's order out of chaos. It was dark, but now it shines. My team, they're burning down for the fragrance. Whatever levitates our minds. Whatever levitates our minds. Hey, hey. My team, they're burning down for the fragrance. Whatever levitates our minds. Peace on my mind, I'm exploring worlds. And we're sailing in the sun as the waves they cut. Bodies moving, shaking, pouring drinks, there's no containing. Yeah, this setting is amazing, eh? And later when the light is fading, we move into the night like the glistening As I stand here, I feel purpose. No longer caught between the lines. Find smiles in this resurgence. Like my days are redefined. There's order out of chaos. It was dark, but now it shines. My team, they're burning down for the fragrance. Whatever levitates our minds. My team,
Technique, what? Grips them heavy like oversized baggage. Yo, too heavy for the scales, even the scales them can't manage. Yo, I do damage everywhere that I go. Mystic you up on the mic, I've got that Bruce Lee flow. Yo, the coldest. Said you know this. Yo, so damn hot, yo, and so braggadocious. Explosive when I flow this. Yo, said I'm the coldest. GQ live up on the microphone. God damn it, and you know this. Clap, clap.
What did we have there then? Got to try and remember now. We had Degs with Unglued, Never Take Your Mind. Then we had a track called Mode 16, which I think is out next week. We've got a new Vanguard Project EP called Duck's Life. I wonder what that could be named after. Coming out on Focus. I think it's next, I'm pretty sure it's next Friday. And Mode 16 will be on that, along with a couple of other tracks. Then we had Mike Strangler featuring GQ. That is from Unglued's latest EP on Hospital. I think it's called Zen. I will go through these and add them all to the playlist, like I say. And right now we've got the LSB remix of Hybrid Minds Meant to Be featuring Grim. Aero Dudley says, vocals sound a little like Seal. Do I remember that guy? Well, yeah, and Degs himself remembers that guy. Because if you have a look through Degs' back catalogue, he actually did a cover version of Adamski featuring Seal, Killer. So he knows he sounds like Seal and did that track. It's pretty good. I mean, it received mixed reviews, so it wasn't quite drum and bass speed. I thought it was wicked. Go and check that out, Degs Killer. And it's Seal. Let's see what we're going to play next. Absolutely wicked remix by LSB. Gonna go out of that into this classic Logistics track from my favourite Logistics album, Electric Sun. Check out the whole album if you haven't checked it out. It's on every single site you can imagine. This one is called Take Me to Another World.
Got something
sick.
What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? This gonna be love. Wanna know who you are? Wanna know who you are? I'm showing you love. Take me to another world, somewhere in your mind. 'Cause I believe the words you say. That we can change it. What are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? This gonna be love. Wanna know who you are? Wanna know who you are? I'm showing you love. There you go again, my love. Somewhere in your mind.
Out that one into probably my favourite ever Lodestar track, just for pure vibes. This one is called BLVD. It's been out for ages. It's by Lodestar. Is this a remix of Frozen by LSB? Yes, it is a remix of Frozen by LSB. And I wanted to play this actually for a couple of weeks. I wasn't sure if I was allowed to or not. I asked Luke yesterday. This is the BCee remix of Frozen, LSB and DRS. And it will be coming out at some point in a month or two on Luke's Footnotes label. Can't wait to get this one out there.
Feels like we're frozen. There won't be a dry eye in the house tonight. Can't find a motive for hurting you, but I know I do.
It is no easy task remixing such a flipping amazing track in the first place. I hope I've done it justice. I'm pretty happy with it. So Frozen BCee remix by LSB and DRS coming out at some point on Footnotes. Right, I'm going to let this one actually fade out a bit because this next track needs a little bit of a run through. This is by Facing Jinx. It's from his debut, I think it's his debut album. It's called Come Back to Me, and it's coming out on him and Filth's label, Peer Pressure. Wicked track. Hope you guys are well. Big up. I know it's been a long time coming out of this with a few obstacles in the way, but I hope it's worth it because this track is absolutely beautiful. Check this out. Come Back to Me. Keep an eye out for the Facing Jinx album.
Someone I knew each new day, so overgrown. The reasons to fight it, the reasons I know. Gotta give it all. And she speaks soft and she speaks low. It's all I know is we stand too close like ghosts. I've got to go, throw it into the sea. Throw it into the sea. Hope it comes back to me.
How beautiful is this?
Reaching into silence for someone I knew each new day, so overgrown. The reasons to fight, the reasons I know. Gotta give it all. And she speaks soft.
Rob Bonney, do I do gigs still? You mean still like ever normally or still during COVID-19? Because there's no way I'm doing one at the minute. But after this, yes. I bloody hope so.
I got to go. I got to go. Reaching into silence for someone I knew. Each new day, so overgrown. The reasons to fight it, the reasons I know. Gotta give it all. Throw it into the sea. Throw it into the sea. All becomes back to me.
So good, man. I haven't played this track for a long time. I haven't played any tracks live for a long time. But this is by a friend of mine called Galactus Jack. Getting him in a bit of a muddle with my mic lead. It's by a friend of mine called Galactus Jack. Galactus Jack actually is a schools worker, and he makes music as kind of part of his work for schools. And he makes pretty good music as part of his work for schools. I remixed this for his project. It's called 100. BCee remix by Galactus Jack. Garage bass line on this one.
don't face the truth. Running in circles, lost in the middle. I ain't gonna lose my...
Okay, we've got about 20 minutes left, so now's the time. If you got any requests, if I've got them on my USBs, I will try and play them. So if you've got any requests for today, yeah, pop them in there. I saw somebody requested a little bit lighter, me, Charlotte and Everwood, so I'll play that next. And yeah, sod mixing them if they're in the wrong key. just chuck your requests up and I'll see what we can do for the last 20 minutes. Wow, me and Lomax Get Up, Get Down. That is an old one. And I'm not sure I've got the ice cream with me, Marky, but I'll have a look for both. So that one then, Galactus Jack 100 BCee on the remix, and you can grab that now from all good music outlets. So this one, Little Bit Lighter, will be the second single. I can't remember the date, but it's only in about 4 or 5 weeks' time. This is Little Bit Lighter from me, Charlotte Haining, and Everwood. Second single from our EP. You can pre-order this if you want a proper download from spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com now. Just a little side note on the album project as well. What I mustn't forget is Andy Jeffroy, my wife, is providing she's doing all the artwork for this. So you may have seen the cover of Birds. It's a hand-drawn bird on there. She did it all in black ink, and then took ages, and then we changed the colour of it, and she was like, it doesn't look like I've drawn it now. It just looks like any old picture. But she drew it. And she also drew the image for A Little Bit Lighter. If you want to see that, go over to spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com and you'll see it on there. And we're going to be following that theme for the whole of the album artwork. Although I'm a bit stuck for images to use for a couple. I'll let you listen to Charlotte. Like I said, then a little bit lighter. Out very, very soon. Right, next up, Vanguard Project Get Up featuring Dynamite MC. This one's going out to John Reachhill. And actually next, I'm coming back off the request because I've just seen a track that's very, very special that I accidentally came across yesterday. I'll tell you about that in a minute.
Hold back, hold back, hold back. Time to make things right and never let nobody hold you down. Don't let them hold you down. Cause you gotta get up. When the rain is in your face and life is gray, well, just let the music play. You were born to be this way. Cause you gotta get up. When the walls in front of you look oh so high, don't you worry, don't you give up now. Cause you were born to fly. Cause you gotta get up. If you're down, grab the ground, don't forget. If you're lost, that you're easily found. You're a queen, you're a boss, you're a king with the guts. You're the top of the top of the top of the box. Don't forget that you're great, jump right over the gate. Treat it just like a gate. You can slide through and skate and move on up and kiss the sky. It's your time now, prepare to fly. Get up. When the rain is in your face and life is gray, well, just let the music play. You were born to be this way. Cause you gotta get up. When the walls in front of you look oh so high, don't you worry, don't you give up.
Jasmine says it's for John's wife, actually. But I like John more. He's got a nicer beard. Love you too.
When the rain is in your face and life is gray, well, just let the music play. You were born to be this way. Cause you gotta get up. When the walls in front of you look oh so high, don't you worry, don't you give up now. Cause you were born to fly. Cause you gotta get up. If you're down, grab the ground, don't forget. If you're lost, that you're easily found. You're a queen, you're a boss, you're a king with the guts. You're the top of the top of the top of the box. Don't forget that you're great, jump right over the gate. Treat it just like a gate. You can slide through and skate and move on up and kiss the sky. It's your time now, prepare to fly. Get up. When the rain is in your face and life is gray, well, just let the music play. You were born to be this way. Cause you gotta get up. When the walls in front of you look oh so high, don't you worry, don't you give up now. Cause you were born to fly. Cause you gotta get up. Cause you gotta.
So that one then, Get Up by the Vanguard Project. It's on our debut album, The Vanguard Project. The Vanguard Project, because we couldn't think of a better name. Right, so yesterday I thought I'd unearth the archives. I'd bust out a couple of old hard drives that I hadn't loaded up in ages to try and find some unreleased stuff or something special that I could play you today. And I came across something now. I don't think this has ever had a release. I Googled this online and found it'd been in a couple of DJ sets, but the late, great Marcus Intellects was talking to me about doing a Spearhead release shortly before he sadly passed away, and he sent me a track called Electric Symphony. And as far as I came across this yesterday, and I don't think Luke LSB didn't think either it's ever come out. So I think this is an unreleased Marcus Intellects track. If anybody knows any better and can find it, let me know. Look, I've got it completely wrong. This one's called Electric Symphony. Like synth, and phony. And Luke said to me yesterday, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, look, he had the fright of his life when about 2 years after Marcus had died. Sadly, Luke was very good friends with Marcus and sadly was there when he died. And about 2 years later, Luke said one night he suddenly got a Skype message from Marcus Intellects. Somebody must have turned his old computer on. It would have frightened the life out of me. The late great Marcus Intellects, one of the true pioneers of the scene. Absolutely, Solar, such an influence on the sound of Spearhead, on what I've wanted to do as a label. Marcus's A&R in, such an influence on me wanting to. He was so militant about getting tunes right and not wanting to put stuff out, and that's why he had such a great label. So I kind of feel I should talk over this a bit and not accidentally give it away. But check this out. Big up Marcus. Absolute legend. Those drums are just something else, mate. So good. And I remember we got a bit stuck with this because he wasn't sure about the mix down. Sounds pretty damn good to me. Loads of people have been asking for all the old Cubics and Lomax stuff, and if you're only quite new to drum and bass, you won't even know it because I think their album came out in like 2007, and then Nick Lomax went on to do Lodestar. Doug Cubics went on to do other stuff, and this is a track that was released, but I can't find it anywhere online, so I thought we'd play this one out of the old Cubics and Lomax stuff. Still sounds so good. It's called Nature Cure, and I think it was out on Big Bud's label. So Cubics and Lomax, Nature Cure, Cubic, soon to make a return, I hope, to the world of drum and bass. Well, that is about it. We are pretty much out of time for week 6 or 7. I don't even know how many we've done anymore. Perhaps 6. You can probably tell me more. I will try and unearth some more gems for you for next week. Basically, I'm going to keep doing these. I know we're kind of in semi-lockdown or whatever now, but anyway, I'm going to keep doing these every Saturday whilst we're in lockdown. And I'll keep doing them until either I've got a gig or my kids are full-time back at school. Because if I can't spend time with them in the week, I'll be with them on a Saturday and not doing this. But I'll probably just move this to a weekday and you can stream it when you like. But I'll keep doing some sort of stream as long as there's no real gigs as such. Until then, I'm going to play you one more track, but I will be back at 2 o'clock next Saturday afternoon. Please do come and join me. Big up to those of you that have tuned in like 2 minutes after we flipping started, or within seconds there was about 45 people and are still here at the end. I can't believe you're still bothered. I'm going to play you one more track to finish. This is an old track by Johnny L. It was on it. I might have been the first Sick Music album. It might have been Sick Music 2. Either way, it was out on Hospital Records. You can get it now. It's called 1N2, but 1N2. I will go through this podcast in a minute, put all of this stuff into the Spotify playlist. If you haven't subscribed to the playlist yet, please do. I've put the link in the description of today's show and in all the others. I think today I'm going to. I think I'll put this on YouTube as well. The archives, so I can get 6 or 7 views on there. Until then, Johnny L, 1 and 2. Johnny L on the vocals. In fact, I'm going to rewind it. We'll get his vocals. Until then, see you next time. I've been Steve BCee for Spearhead Records. If you want to support us, go to bandcamp.com. Let me start that again. If you want to support me and the artists, go to spearheadrecords.bandcamp.com and buy something. And if not, please just go to the Spotify page, do some streams. It all helps. Share us on the podcast. Faction and Rhea came out yesterday. Go and get that. And I'll finish with this. Johnny L, 1 and 2. Bye. After 6 weeks, I've just noticed that you can pin a comment to the top. That took its time, didn't it? Anyway, please subscribe to the playlist. I'm going to fade it down there, and we are out of here. Thanks very much.
I'm gonna get to you, I'm missing the